Alright, first violins. This is basically a run over some of the difficult parts of the piece. I'm essentially going to show you how to play the certain bars that may be a little bit confusing or difficult in any sort of way. So in measure 11, we're going to start off in measure 11. The rhythm is basically 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. So when you're going in to play this, you need to make a mental note. If you haven't already written it on your music, you need to write high 3 on the D sharp. And essentially what you're going to do is you need to remember that when you're doing 1, 2, the 3 is not touching your second finger, it's going to be a step ahead of it, right? So when you play it, it's going to, basically, I'm going to take out the slurs, but it's going to sound like this. 1, not, but this, right? So now let's talk about the bows in measure 11. You're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. So it's going to look a lot like 1, right? So keep practicing that, and if you have to pause the video and go back and listen to it and play with me, do that again. So I'm gonna move on. Measure 13, and so measure 13, it is the exact same bowings, and it's the same rhythm. It's gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, right? So let's play that. Remember, you need to write in low 2 for the C. So it's gonna sound like this. Right? Again, if you need to listen to that so you can practice intonation or review it again to see how I did my bows, make sure you do that as well. But in measure 14, there's a tie that I was told that I need to talk about and to speak with you about, because ties can be confusing. Some people may think of a tie as the same thing as a slur, where a slur is something where you go, right? But you're not doing that. Like, you're not going to put a space in it. You're going to view it as a singular note, right? So it's going to sound like, instead of, right? It's not going to sound like that. That's too much work. So you're going to end up playing it as one note, right? So if you need to play this with me really quick, let's do that really quick. 1, 2, ready. Right? Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to measure 35, I think that's 35, with the crescendos, the hairpins facing each other. So in 35, the rhythm is a little bit different. So I'm gonna clap it, not that it's any harder, but it's basically 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and, right? So it's gonna go 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and. Say it with me one time, ready? 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and. Now here are the bows. You're gonna go 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and. Again, ready? 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and. One more time. 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and. Now, we're going to put in the notes. Should sound something like, right? Let's do that one more time. Practice this one with me. There shouldn't be any accidentals, so it should just sound like how I did it. Ready? 1, 2, ready. Right? So the last part that I think I should play with you is in measure 46. It is the exact same rhythm as the tie that we did before, kind of anyways. It's similar to the same rhythm, but the tie is exactly the exact same. So you're going to go, right? So the only thing that she really made a note over is to make sure you watch. So a good mental note, or a good thing to, I guess a good tip I could give you, is to remember that bar, to make a memory of it and a memory of how to play it. So when you're going into it, you're going to watch her. Right? So that's really all that there is to this song. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Again, if you need to pause the video, go back a bit and practice with me, that is also a good idea. But other than that, the rest of the song should come pretty naturally. Yep.